Hi Stitchy friends! I'm glad to see that you came back to see us. Well, me, since I can't get my mom on. But come see if I finished my Valentine pattern and what I put in this frame. See you in a couple seconds. Bye! Hi Flosstube friends! I hope you have had a fabulous week. Welcome to Flossy Friday. And I hope you had a good stitching week. We've had great weather. At least it seems like it's been great good weather for the last couple weeks. I know that it was cloudy, but the sun's been out the last few days, and so I'm very excited to think that spring might finally be on its way. Busy as usual with church and family and work, and getting in as much stitch time as I can when I'm not doing those things, to the point where my mom says that she's a little concerned that maybe my husband and she won't get fed. So, but I try to do the things I'm supposed to be doing and then just stitch a lot in between. This coming weekend we're going to be starting garden boxes because I tore up our yard last fall, and took out all the grass and put in bark and planted rose bushes around the edges, and I'm going to put in garden boxes in my front yard because that's the sunniest part of my yard, and so that's going to take up some time in the next few weeks. But let me catch up on what I've been doing while I've been stitching. My works in progress I've been working on the Modern Folk Art Jacob DeGraff Stitch Along, and I finally caught up with January. I know, yes, we're 2 weeks into February, but I caught up with January. And here it is. And this is Alabaster Newcastle linen, 40 count, and that's yay. Finally caught up. And so I did those in just DMC floss. I'm not gonna do others. So I did my borders in this gray, $37.99, which is very lovely. It's kind of a dark steely gray, and 501. And I think this is 783. It's kind of a gold, and then I have a navy, 311 and 816. So that's my little color palette right there. And I might throw in a couple other neutrals as I go along, and different parts come into play because I know that there's a Tree of Life that I really like, and some houses, and so I haven't decided what exactly I'm going to do with those, and that's kind of the fun of making it up as you go along. And so I caught up with that, and I have February's piece came, whoops, sorry, on my little stitch stand. If you haven't seen it, this is the Modern Folk Art Embroidery, the Family Patchwork Sampler. And so we've done this corner, and now if I can do that piece came. And so February's piece is right there. And so I've got that to look forward to getting done. And it's just hanging here. Whoops, what did I do with my little clothespins? Oh, they're in my lap. Yeah, this is my very fancy schmancy stitch holder here, as I just have my pattern clothespinned on my light. And then I have a little light that shines down on it. Here, in fact, I'll just bring this over. Here's my little light. Here's my mom got me this to put it fits better for little patterns. For the big ones, I've just been clothespinning them to that. Then I have my little IKEA light here that I can shine on my pattern so I can see it better. And then I have my little, whoops, must not be plugged in. Anyway, I have my other light to shine on my stitching, because apparently I can't stitch on 40 count without a little bit of help. And so that just sits here next to my stitch chair, and I'll quit banging that around. So that's my little stand right there. So that's one of the things that I've been working on and getting caught up on. It's been great fun. I've enjoyed deciding what colors I want to stitch it in. And so I'm anxious to see that progress along the year and get it done at the end of the year. The other thing I've been working on is these. And I really thought that I was going to be able to knock these out like a tag a week. Well, either I stitch really, really slow or they take longer than I think. So I've been working on the Serra Perpetual Calendar. And this is the January leaflet. And in each leaflet they have 4 tags to work on. And I just ordered my stand. I'm very excited for that to come. And this is what I got done. So here's my little bag. This is the project that I take back and forth to work. I printed it and trimmed all the little tags down to size so that I could just tuck them in my bag with the floss. And then I have my tags that I cut down. I'd never stitched on perforated paper. Here's what it looks like if you've never seen it. This is just happens to be the, I think it was brown, maybe mocha. I don't remember what it was called, sorry. And then I trimmed them up, made my little tags. So those go in my bag with the floss. And then I got this one done, January. Isn't he cute? The green on it is different than what it was supposed to be. Actually, all of it's kind of different. This was supposed to be sweet potato, and I changed it to a red. I think it's 321. It's like a Christmas red. And the green, which is 906, was supposed to be a dark green, like a dark grass green. And what else did I do different? And now that I'm looking at it, I can see something I didn't finish. I didn't finish these little stripes right here. So that's a little disconcerting. It tells you how tired I was when I was stitching it. I thought I would like whip that out in less than a week. It actually took, I kept track, 24 hours to stitch this stupid thing. But it's cute and it's done, but there's 47 more to go. And then when you get done with the little tags, then they go on these tags. They're little die cut tags. They come in a package of 50. And then they get mounted on here like this. Won't that be cute? And so I am looking forward to getting that done. So I got that one done, and then I've already started on the second one, Tuesday, because that was the day of the week that came in the flyer. See, Tuesday. Doot. And so I'm looking forward to getting those done. I'm hoping it doesn't take me a full 2 years, and I'm really sad that I don't have January's done because I was looking at it the other day, the February flyer, and they're so cute. I love the little heart with the flower in it. So I'm sad that I can't start February's in February, but maybe I can catch up, but we'll see how things go in this as I stitch this next week. Got a couple things coming up, so we'll see how that goes. You know, life gets in the way of all stitching. But that's my fun little project that I've been working on, carrying back and forth to work. Sorry, I'm scooching things off my footstool here. Then the other project I've been working on is, let's see, the pattern's not in there. Where is it? I think it's in my binder. Yes, I put all my little patterns in, and eventually I can see that this is going to be just Plum Street Samplers patterns because I'm getting so many of them. This is called 100 Ways. It says, I suppose there may be 100 different ways to love, of being in love, by Jane Austen. And I'm stitching that for a present, and so I'm trying to get it done. It doesn't have to be done till the end of summer, but I would like to get it done and not have it be like everything else that I generally do, which is I start it and then I don't finish it until the last minute, and then I get panicky and frustrated and upset, and yeah, I would just like to avoid that this year. I'm trying to be better. And so I started to make good progress on it. I showed it to you once before. I had bought linen at Joann's, and maybe people stitch on this very easily. I have really struggled. I got this. It was white. It's kind of on the sheer side. Like a loose weave, and I got this much done. And I have just struggled with it since day one. And the other night when I was stitching down here, like I got across the top and started coming down the side, it's like, okay, my lines aren't gonna meet up. I'm apparently 2 stitches off. Anyway, after all the frustration that I was having with it, I decided to go a different way. So I am ditching this. So that has just been kind of a pill since day one. I don't know why I've been struggling so much this year with the fabrics. But first I couldn't find the pink, and I had gotten this and it was too dark, and it's still too dark, so I can't use that. I tried dyeing some, which thank goodness I cut the linen in half, because this ended up being really, really pink also. I don't know if you can see it. There's such a glare. It's pretty pink. It's almost as pink as this one, just different tone. This one's bluer. And then I did this one, which is just a titch pink, which looks like I'm pulling up white fabric, but it really is. It's just a very, very soft pink. And I've given up on that too. And I'm completely going for something, I'm not doing linen at all. I went back and I pulled a piece of 18 count Aida out of my box, cut it down to the size that I'm going to need to do the piece. It ends up being, it's actually very little. It's like 3 or 4 inches across, if that, and maybe 7 inches long. And so I dyed that, so it's just a titch pink. You can't even hardly tell. Definitely not in that light. And so I'm going to use that and start all over again. But on the upside, I have my fabric, I have my colors together, I even have readers in here, my hoop. I've already blown up my pattern since I had started working on it earlier, so it's gigantic. So I've got all that, and it's in a bag that I can work on that. And so I hope to get a good chunk of this done before the end of February. So those are the 3 things that I'm working on, and I'm probably going to work on continuously through February. Those are my whips. The 100 ways, the tags, and my Jacob's Sal. The other thing that I spent the first week in February working on, I hope to, or the tail end of January and the beginning of February, is this. Let me take it out of its sleeve. Can you see that? It's by Monasterium Design, and it's called Valentine. And when I saw it, I loved it, and I knew right where I wanted to put it. I had a frame already ready for it, and I didn't get it done by February 1st, but I did get it finished. And I not only got it finished, I got it fully finished. And so here it is. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? So yeah, it's all done. It's all done, and it's very cute, and it's hanging in my entryway, so I can see it when I walk in the house. And so I'm very excited. So yay, finish! And I even did a good job this time when I was lacing it. It wasn't the wackadoodle way I did the first piece that I did, the believe the Santa Claus in the Sleigh by Twin Peak Primitives, I think it is. And so yeah, I got it done. Yay! So I was very excited about that. I love to have a finished project. I don't want to have to go back later and try and get it done. And so those were the things that I've been working on in the tail end of January and into February, and I'm going to keep working on those things. My mom has been working on a couple different things. She has been working on this. Here Lie My Needles by Shakespeare's Peddler, and I love it, and it's a good thing I love it because she's making it for me. Because when she saw it, she's just like, oh my gosh, I immediately thought of you, because when I stitch, and I'm not really sure how I do it, but I can even show you one because I brought one up last night. I don't know how I do it. But after a while, this is what my needles look like. Can you even see that? See that little bent needle? Yeah, I don't know. That one's really bent. I don't know how. Anyway, I have a collection. And so there's a spot right here on this pattern for all of the little bent needles. So yeah, it says, here lie my needles, some bent, some broken, and some rusty. And so that's where we're going to put all of my little bent needles that I have. And I think that we're thinking about changing that little fox right there into a little Chihuahua dog, because my mom has a little Chihuahua and he is here with her. And so that's going to be the fun little thing that she's working on getting done. And here's how far she is right now. So she's made a lot of progress, and I think it's awesome. It's very fun. I love this little vase. I love this lady. I'm very excited for her to get done with that. And that is I think I told you, Shakespeare's Peddler. And she has all her information on here. 18 count antique white Aida that she coffee and tea dyed like Vanna Pfeiffer shows on her tutorials. And I thought that turned out great. She did an awesome job. She does a really good job dyeing her fabrics. And so she's been working on that. And then the other thing that she's been working on is this. It is a Brenda Gervais pattern. It's the February's Wordplay. And she's doing it on 20 count Aida. 1 thread over 1. This is also on a piece of Aida that she dyed the way Vanna Pfeiffer shows us how to. And she's made a couple changes on it. It calls for the Gentle Art Sampler flosses, but she's using the DMC, and she's made some color changes. And one of the things she wanted me to point out was on the pattern, it has a little blue bird right there. And see how Valentine up here in the corner has stitched in, I think it's antique gold, maybe Aztec gold, I don't remember which one. On here, she thought Valentine would be fun to do in a variegated floss. And so she has that done there, and I like that a lot. And then right here, instead of having a little bluebird, she has a little tiny cardinal, because at her house in Minnesota where she lives, when she's not with me, she has a little cardinal that comes and sit on her doorknob. So that's very fun. And look how far she got. She hasn't been working on it that many days. That's very, very fun. So we have had a busy couple stitching weeks. Like I said, busy to the point where my mother's a little concerned that we're not going to be eating dinner on a night-to-night basis. The other thing that she finished, hang on, sorry, I got a lot of stuff here on my feet, is we found this frame at the DI, which is like Goodwill. And it is the Aussie Friends that Sassy Jack has, that they're using, raising money for the fires in Australia. And she got that done. And I think her ultimate goal is to make it into a pin cushion, but I had found this and painted it this week, and so we threw it in there because it's kind of cute. And these were originally, I don't remember what the colors were, like whose threads they were, but instead of doing them in the original colors, she changed the flower colors and the stem colors on the leaves. She used this Trish Burr book. Have you seen that? This was a gift, and she changed it too, which this is why she got it, is because inside Trish has these color schemes. And so she used this color scheme right there, the Australian color scheme, and she didn't use all of them, but she pulled the greens and I think the reds out of there. And so she used those colors, and that worked really well. And this is such a fun book. If you haven't seen it, it has lots of little color schemes in it, which if you're like me and you're challenged as far as putting colors together, and then it has some different patterns to practice on. Trish has great patterns, and so that's a fun book to have. And so that's what we've been working on. I think I've got everything that I have been working on. There's been other projects, but they're not cross-stitch projects. Some of my plans for February are to continue working on my whips. And then I would like, really, I'm getting to the point where I just want to start something new because I want to. Like a lot of the stitching I was doing has already been like things that I had previously planned. And I have things, like I have things kitted up and just waiting. I just haven't, I want to get the like I have to do's done, which is the things that I'm giving away for gifts at the end of the year. And so one of them is that 100 ways. And then I have a white work piece that I'm working on that I could not locate. It's a white work sampler. And I just could not find the pattern today, or I would have showed you what it was. But I want to get those done first before I do any of the things that I want to do, like for myself. Yeah, I want to work on some bigger pieces, but I need to get those done first. And the other thing that I need to get done is, and I think I showed you this before, I had made my last daughter a stocking at Christmas. We have 6 kids, if I haven't told you before. And at Christmas time, I finished, I think I already gave it back to her, so I can't show you. I finished her stocking. I don't even know if I have a picture of it. I'll put a picture of it at the end. But I have this stocking that I had started for my 5th child, my Miss Emmy Lulu, and I have started it, and I have got this part up here done, the stuck guy and the stars right up here, and I've started on the little checks, but I had lost the, oh sorry, my brain's tired, it's the end of the day. I had lost the little floss legend, so I have that much done. And I was really concerned because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to just like pick my own colors, and what if I pick the wrong colors? And I don't know why I worry about it, because who's gonna know that it wasn't the colors that was originally in. But as luck would have it, 2 things happened. One, when we went to DI, I found this book, Mary Englebright Cross Stitch for All Seasons. Sorry, I couldn't remember the title. It's a Mary Englebright book. That's what I remembered. And when I was looking through it, look what I found. Ta-da! Ta-da! So I was very excited because I thought, look, right here, whoops, on the wrong page, is all the colors I need. Yay! But of course, as chance would have it, as soon as I found this, thank you Heavenly Father for watching out over me, but it just seems like as soon as I find something that I've lost, look what turns up. I found the actual pattern. Ta-da! And it has the colors on it. But it'll be nice to have the numbers, because these just say red, pink, peach, orange, yellow, and the book has the numbers, because even though I have now the fabric, the picture, and the pattern, I can't find the floss. So I'm very happy that I found the book and that someone was watching over me so that I can have the numbers to be able to finish her stocking. That makes me very happy. And so that is something I'm going to be working on over the course of the next few months. I'm not in any big rush to get it done. As long as it's done before Thanksgiving, I will be a happy, happy girl. But I thought that I would make this one of my 10 and 20s that Farm Girl's doing. And so this is one of my projects. And really, I guess I've already got some done, because this was one of my other projects that I planned on doing in 2020. And the other one that I finished in 2020, I finished this one in January, was my Believe. So I have 2 finishes. Ta-da! So 2 out of my 10 for 2020. Who knows, maybe I'll get 20 done. Then my stocking, so that would be 3. Then I have this kit that I got last fall. It's a dimensions kit. And I don't normally care for the larger 8. I think it's 16 count, yeah. 16 count. But I love cardinals. My sisters, we all have a thing for cardinals. They were my dad's favorite bird, and they have a beautiful song. And I grew up in the Midwest, so there were lots of cardinals, and so I look forward to doing that. And it's got some very pretty dove gray Ada, and all the threads are in there. So that's one of my projected projects with all the little floss. And then I think I showed you guys this. I haven't touched this since the last time you saw it. It was one of those things I just got frustrated with, and you know, once you pick it out and sew it a couple times, just not so excited. In fact, I don't even think I have the pattern up here. I think it's down by my stitch chair, because I have a similar arrangement like this downstairs where I stitch while my husband watches TV. But the other thing that I'm working on this year is, let me pull one of them out, is the Country Cottage Needleworks, the Glitter Village. There's one of the little houses right there. They're so cute. I don't know what it is about little houses, but I love little houses. And there's 9 of them. In fact, she's got a couple different villages, and I try not to look at the other ones because I know what happens if I look at them. Actually, I can tell you what happens if I look at them, because look, they're just cute. Here, look at the little pink house, because all those houses were blue, but look at this little pink house. It's going to take me forever to clean up from this since I'm taking things out of packages and not putting them away. But look, it's adorable. So I am stitching all of those with the suggested colors. They are the Colorworks flosses, and I have them all bagged up on the silver Belfast linen. See how sparkly it is? It's so sparkly. It's so sparkly. And that's my little chapel. Haven't worked on it. No steeple yet, no windows. Yeah, like I said, I got frustrated. Part of it was I don't really care for the way it feels. Apparently I'm a huge texture girl, and I was struggling because it's the first larger piece that I've done, and the linen was constantly getting in my way. So now that I have some of these little fun peely things, it keeps it out of the way, and it'll be much easier to manage. So that is one of the things that I am working on, and it sits by my chair downstairs, so that when my dear, sweet, darling, adorable Prince Charming is watching TV, usually some gun show that I don't care for, I can just very calmly keep him company and stitch away. So that is one of the projects I am working on. And then, sorry, they're all laying at my feet. Let me pick them up. One of the other ones that you've seen in my very sparkly pink bag, which I love so much. You just gotta love DI. Nothing like a dollar bag. Is the Sleeping Princess, which I've showed you before. And I originally got the beach walk to do it on, which is what was called for. And I've never been totally sold on the fabric. And so I got this pink, very, very pale. I don't know how to do pale. I don't know if you can, yeah. The reflections are a lot. Anyway, it's a very soft pink. And so I was thinking instead of the beach walk, to do it in the pale pink on this. And do this on this, sorry. But I did have somebody the other day, because I think this is 32 count and that's what the pattern recommends. And I think that this is 40 count. And someone the other day in the comments, thank you so much. And I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but I appreciated the comment because I had said I was going to do it on this 40 count linen and it'll make it a little bit smaller. But I also already have all of the beads. And so she said the beads might be too big. So that's a little disconcerting, but she's right. I would be really upset. See, I've already got all the colors together. I would be really upset if I got it all done and then found out that my beads aren't going to work, because some of these are really big beads. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see how big some of those are? I don't know that that's going to fit on a 40 count. So it might have to go on the beach walk. But that's like my fourth project. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5th project. Not counting the 100 ways. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of projects, what can I say? The other project that I'm working on, or want to work on this year, that I cannot start until I get 100 ways done and my white work, is a Cricut collection pattern that I saw at my local L&S up in Salt Lake, and it's called Walk in the Woods. And I'm going to hold it really close because look, it has little moth and a little bee and little birds and feathers and pine cones, and it's done with some very lovely plummy purple colors, and I don't know if I have those pulled yet, but I already have the fabric for it. I'm trying to be good and get everything together, and I have my flosses for it, and it looks like I've got most of them. Yeah, oh, I might have all of them. They're just not on a ring yet. So they're all in there. And so that's one of the little projects for this year, is the Walk in the Woods by Cricut. And then in one of my porn bags that I got at DI for $1 that we haven't resolved the cover yet is this. And I got a 32 count antique white linen, just plain white. And it's a Plum Street sampler pattern. And it's called Judge Not. And I'm going to hold it sideways because it's a long skinny one. And look at all those cute sheep with all their different little patterns. They are so fun. I can hardly wait to stitch them. They're just deliciously fun. It will be so much fun. And so I have the fabric and I've got the pattern. And looks like I've got some of my floss, but not all of it. Already made gigantic prints, and I don't usually do copies this big, but I was running, my mom and I have been, I was running copies for my mom's pattern for something that she was doing, and I didn't change the settings on the printer. So it is huge. So I should have no problem seeing it. I can probably stitch it without a light and without magnifiers. And maybe by the time I get to it, we will have put something cute on the front of this bag, like my mom did on this bag. I'm gonna take this out. See? She fixed this one. So there's my dollar tote that she sewed. I showed it to you last time. Little front on it and put a little pocket. And this is where I had my pattern. Because in this bag, see, my pattern book fits great. Fits very great. And this is from an old calendar. I think it's 1990. And there's a couple things in here I still like. Some of them I don't, but some of them I do. And this is one of the ones I do. I want to stitch that Pledge of Allegiance for 4th of July so that it can hang on the wall downstairs with all my husband's military stuff. Because I did a little wall full of all of his stuff from the military, some of his awards and some different things that people have made him and pictures, and yeah. I just thought that would be so cute to go down there. And that was something I had started back when my children were all small, and now they have kids of their own, and this is how much I got done. Is that much. And I may be starting it over because I've never been a gigantic fan of the way Ada looks unless it's a full coverage piece. So since I have so little done on it, I may be starting that over. But that will probably be right after I finish 100 ways. And so those are all my bagged up projects that I have done. And I think that's it as far as bagged up projects. Other things that I have planned, and this is where it starts to get hard, is for Christmas this year, I got this book, Crossstitch Antique Style Samplers, and they may not be everybody's taste, but it's got all kinds of different, I mean, it talks about samplers, it has histories of samplers, it gives different ideas on samplers. I would like to do this one, which is one of the Bristol Orphanage samplers. I think that would be lots of fun because, you know, I don't have anything else planned to do this year. And then I know that this is kind of different, and I might change the colors because I'm not too crazy about some of them, but I love pansies. And it's on the front of the book now that I think about it. See that one right there? I just think that's a fun little sampler. And here's the picture of it, if that's a little bit clearer. The colors are kind of, I don't know. I'm just not totally crazy about the colors, but I love the pattern mostly because I love the flowers around the edge. So yeah, I've got all those other things bagged up, and then I have these things that I want to stitch. And then the other thing in this book that I would like to stitch, there's 2 or 3 of them, I haven't decided which one I like the most, is they have a couple band samplers. And the thing I like about these band samplers is they have some hardanger and some different stitches on them. Let's see, I can't tell. Anyway, I would like to try them just for kicks and giggles to see if I can learn some new stitches. How come your nose always itches right in the middle of filming or taping or whatever you call it, videoing? And then they have that one, which is kind of fun. But I think my favorite is this one. It's called Violets and Berries. Whoops. And there's that one. And so they've got some different stitches on it, and I think I would like to learn something new this year. And so I have this book that has all of these in them. And then, oh, sorry, my nose is really driving me crazy. I have a lot of these magazines, the Cross Stitch and Needlework magazines. And this one I actually found at DI, which is good because I didn't have it. And I like this little sampler. I think it's very fun, and I think that it would be very fun to do. So those are some options. Yeah, no, I have lots of options. In fact, my mom and I were having this discussion that really I could probably not buy another cross-stitch pattern and stitch until I die. Because the other thing that, I mean, in addition to my book that I have here of all of these things that we've been slowly collecting. Remember when I was telling you about the silly little houses? These aren't the country cottage ones, but look. Like I said, I like little houses. It's so cute. And I have an idea for it. So, but I'm trying to be good and not have, you know, 100 starts and nothing finished, which is what I tend to be good at. But for Christmas, the other thing that I got was this from my husband. It is the Sampler and Antique Needlework Complete Collection, 1991 through 2015. So it's 80 issues of the Needlework Quarterly magazine that they had. And I downloaded it and put it on, sorry, my iPad went to sleep while I was talking. I put it on my iPad, and so now I have more things to tempt me and taunt me into stitching them. Apparently I have quite a few things on my iPad now. Oh no. Oh, you know what? It's on my big iPad, and I'm taping with that one today. Sorry. I was going to show you because I was so excited, and it is so cool. I have to admit that I lay in bed at night and read this magazine. I just don't read it on my phone because, let me go to one of them. Whoops, sorry, I'm trying to get to the beginning because it keeps opening up right where I was at. And so once I downloaded it, there's the little magazine, and then it has the table of contents. And then when you click on the table of contents, on whichever one that you're clicking on, then it will take you to that page. And so it has all of these little, it has the sampler, and then the, you know, the pattern. And so yeah, there's like 2 or 3 or 4 in every single one. And so let's see, 3 times 80 stitching magazines, 240 samplers to choose from. And I've already started to print some of them off. Some of the ones that were my favorite. The Sarah Fellows sampler. And the Margaret Patterson sampler. And I don't know if you can see this one, the colors on this one are kind of light. The Mary Roper sampler. The Jane Smith sampler. Oh, they're just all so beautiful. This one is the Anne Eliza Premer sampler, and it's all done in like golds and yellows and green. And the Mary Jane Getty sampler. And this is probably one of my favorites. And do I have it? Oops. I must have the other page flipped. But I love it because it's got those flowers in the 4 corners and then that weeping willow tree in the center. Adorable. Yeah. So I've already started printing some of the ones off that I want to stitch, and they're in here. And then I also have my, well, I usually have Jacob Sal. I have my Betty Glover in here that was a free pattern by Hewitt Hill. And I love her. She's very fun. I love the feathers coming out of her head and the fact that she's carrying a rose. That's a very fun one. And then I also have this one on my list of things to do this year. This is a modern folk art pattern. It is the Kaleidoscope. And I just thought it was beautiful. Apparently I hope I'm not bored stitching it because it really appeals to my brain. The symmetry of it. Jacob's patterns are just, they're gorgeous. So I have lots of options, and that doesn't count, you know, anything that I've picked up when we went to Shepherd's Bush, like this little fun hive and home. And it has little teeny tiny beehives and little tiny houses, and they've made them into little pillows and framed them. It's very adorable. Very adorable. Maybe I can work in some smalls when I in between bigger projects. And then I also got this one, Brave Flags, and I think it's gorgeous. And they had it made up into a pillow, which was really cute. So yeah, I got lots of things to choose from. So that was my whips and my haul and my catch up on my mom and plans for 2020. I think that's about everything. I can't think of anything else. Oh, I did too, now that I'm looking down. I ordered magnets off of Amazon, and I made some needle minders. This one was just a little tag that I'd gotten someplace, and I just thought it was cute. So it's been on my, here we'll polish it up so it's not quite so fingerprinty. But it's been on my stitching this month in February. And then the other one that I made is since I got married, my dad and mom have given us a pin for Christmas each year. So I have quite the collection of Christmas pins to wear on my coats and sweaters. And I took one of them that I like to look at, and I love them, all of them, because I love sparkly, and they're sparkly. And so I made a needle minder out of that. And it doesn't even begin to do it justice. It's so sparkly and pretty. And so I have that one. And then my sister, a long time ago, when I very first, in fact, I don't even know if I was out of high school, but she bought this for me, and it is a pin that I love, and I don't wear it very often, but I just think it is so fun. And I don't know if it's going to be in focus. But isn't that cute? Has a little shiny crystal up there, and so I glued some magnets with some E6000 on the back, you know, pulled the pin back off. And so now that's a little needle minder. And so that's going to make me so happy, and I can think of my sister when I see it on my stitching. So I have those 3 needle minders, and oh, they make me happy. Yeah, so now I'm running around the house going, what else can I make into a needle minder? And yeah, I think that's it. It's been good. I've enjoyed watching you guys. I've seen a couple new people, and I'm so excited to see new people come play with us. And I hope you all get lots of time to stitch this week. And if you liked hearing what's going on in our stitchy lives, and maybe not even our stitchy lives. Oh, speaking of not stitchy life, remember I showed you this pattern? Because I love to do wool work probably as much or more than cross stitch. And I was going to work on that and get it done before I saw you again. And I did. And to see it, I'm not going to show you today because I decided that I will just keep this cross stitching, and I will do something a different one. You know, a different wool work Wednesdays, who knows. I'll do something like that and show you what I did with that, and give you the story of how my mom got out to my house last fall. So those are some of the fun things that we've done this week, and I hope that you had a great week and that you enjoyed coming and visiting with me. Like I said, I have really enjoyed visiting with you guys. I saw a couple new Flosstubers today, and they were so adorable, and I'm so happy to see them. One girl was from Chicago, and that's back in the Midwest where I grew up, and so that made me happy, and I'm hoping everybody has great success and great fun because I learned so much from you guys. Oh, I know what else I got. Because I was thinking, this is what made me think of it, is I got this little thread zapper that the quilt, she's not the quilt roadie. I don't know what she calls her Flosstube. I'm sorry, Anna. But she showed us this on her thing, and I was very excited because I use Krennic sometimes, and it is kind of a pill, so I'm very excited to find a little tool to melt my threads together, the ends, so it'll make it easier to stitch. But before I came upstairs tonight, I had a package come, and look what I got. I love a pair of scissors. I didn't even think about it because apparently I've been collecting them as I walked around the house tonight. Look, my little package of scissors came. It was a package of 5. Here's my little stork scissors. Here's these little scissors. Let's see, what's a better way to do that so that there's not so much background stuff so you can see them better. See, aren't those cute? Black with a little bit of gold work. This is a very funky little pair. They look like a little pair of, it's a little guitar. See? Fun, fun. Very fun. And this pair, see if I can hold the fabric and the scissors. Apparently I'm not very coordinated. I love fun scissors, and if they're fun scissors that cut well, which I'm hoping that they do, well, they seem to be decent. Even if they're not decent, they're so cute. Do I care? All I'm going to do is trim threads. Oh, now that trims pretty good. And then look at these. Aren't those fun? So yeah, so I had like crazy scissor day. Crazy scissor day. Fun, fun. So I'm very excited. My mom doesn't even know that I have those. She's going to yell at me. She says Amazon visits here a lot. But I just happened to see them, and they need to come live here, and then I can have a pair of scissors in every bag, and I don't have to keep running around the house finding them. And I'll just have to make more of these little things to go around my neck because I'm constantly losing my scissors when I stitch. Yeah, bending my needles and losing my scissors, my number one things. So yeah, right now they're just sitting in my little tray with my little book that I keep track of how long I stitch. So yeah, now I'm ending. Now I'm really ending. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I will see you again on, what's this week? Is this the third week? Third week. First week in March. First weekend in March. And so have a great time. I hope the next 2 weeks are great. I hope you have fun on February 29th, since this is a leap year, and do something special since you only get this extra day once every 4 years. Give me a thumbs up. Share with other people if you like what you hear. And yeah, come back and talk again.